Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Come Journal with Jay, with author Jayla Star. Author Jayla Star is me. And I am here because I need to tell you something. Like literally every single Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. I'm going to need to tell you something. And that something would vary between what our days look like, feedback from my last show, um, and what is the climate of our world. So here we go. I am here with you every single Monday, 5:30 a.m. I'm streaming live. Um, you can go to my website, and that is where you will find all things Author Jayla Star. In my website for feedback, my website for subscriptions, my website for anything that has to do with me is jstarpublishing.net. Got it? jstarpublishing.net. Okay, and we are going to just jump right in with affirmations. First thing I want to tell you guys, the affirmations goes hand in hand with journaling. Because today is Monday, I chose to do this on Monday morning because most people start their weeks on Monday. Monday starts the week. Sunday really starts the week, but so why not? Why not kick off a long 5 days? Most of us do not get a break in the middle of the week. So let's kick off Monday and on a positive note, with positivity, with self-awareness, with a goal maybe. So hopefully things that I have to say every Monday morning would help you provoke thoughts of prosperity, thoughts of self-love, thoughts of self-help. Um, because self-love is more than just telling yourself that you love you have to show yourself that you are capable of love. You have to show yourself that you are capable of loving. So self-love begins in your mind, and that travels to your heart. It travels to the energy that you put out into the world, because you know who you are. You know what you want in life. So we're gonna start off with affirmations every Monday morning, and for today, the affirmation that I am used to using, and it doesn't have to be, oh, my week is going to be horrible, so therefore I need to speak against it. No, you can use an affirmation that's going to provide light towards the unknown, because we don't know what our week is going to look like. We don't know what our kids are going to be doing, or what our man is going to be doing, or what we're going to be doing, what they're going to be doing to us at work. Like, we just don't know. So it is important that you use an affirmation that's going to set you straight, set you on the right path. And for a long time, those things are not something that we as women, or humans for that matter, it's not something that we are used to focusing on. A lot of times people focus on either the right now, or they're focusing on the empire they're building for the future. And so we can get wrapped up in that, and that diminishes our strengths. Because if you're too worried, that means that you're not actually having faith in yourself, because you're worrying. That is a telltale a telltale sign. So affirmations, and I know this episode I'm probably talking a lot about just the backstory of things, and that's because this is the first podcast from Come Journal with Jay. This is the first podcast of this year. which is amazing, right? Last year I had so many podcasts, so many episodes, and when I tell you it was unorganized, I took myself on a journey, and that journey led me to wanting to figure it out on a level that tells who I am. I am a person that journals. I write things down because I don't want to compartmentalize. Because you compartmentalize in that box that you put that thing in, it overflows and then you explode a lot of times. And sometimes people do not explode publicly or on a person. Sometimes you explode with self hate. Sometimes you explode with digging too much in the past, and then you are in a deep depression. So for what I want to do is I want to help people and help myself, continue to help myself, get to a space where we are not compartmentalizing our feelings, but we are creating a space for them. May not be while you at the drive-through line and old girl or old dude is in the drive-through line and they're being obnoxious and you trying to get to work. It may not be that moment that you need to express that, express your disdain for that moment. But journaling about things like that helps you release them. And for me, I just know for a fact that I deep dive into everything. Everything is analytical and everything is strategic. And everything has a hidden figure for me. That's just who I am. And that's why I have adopted the way that we're going to do this show from now on. That's why we are here. So, affirmations. Starting off the week in power, in full confidence. So, your affirmation that you may say today may not be the same affirmation that you're going to say Wednesday. So, it's not a robotic thing. It is, let's start. So starting, and I have a lot of notes. I have a lot of notes because since my last podcast, I have become a student of this craft. I needed to organize my words because I have so much in my mind, and sometimes it just doesn't. It comes out in floods, and that's not cool. That's not cool because when what I really want to say doesn't get heard. Because people like drama, right? I want to add everyday life and everyday feelings into the same space to make sure people understand that you can create a space. You can create a space where all these things are important. All right, affirmations now. Affirmations. All right. So, most of my affirmations come from just me speaking to myself off the top of my head. So, matters of the heart. Starting off your week with matters of the heart kind of helps you put things in perspective like a vision board. So, you like that? I did not think I was going to do that right then. So, starting off with the affirmation, matters of the heart. I am who I am. The resources that I have is God-given. There's no way, not today, not tomorrow, that anyone can take away my strength. Your affirmation for Monday. Your affirmation for Monday morning, because those are important. So, now, Going on to the next segment because we're 10 minutes in and I'm still figuring this out. Again, this is our first show of the year 2023. Can you believe it? 2023. This is another scroll for me. I know for all of us, but me being born in 85. All right. You know, when you're filling out the application online or something and you have to keep scrolling until you find your year. Yeah, this is another for me. This is another for me. Oh, I wanted to, so for my next segment, I want to go over something that I received in an email. So if you're subscribed to my website, then you know that I send out emails to people, to everyone that subscribes. I send out those emails to everyone, and I want you to give me feedback. So I ask questions, and so one of the questions that I had asked, let me find it in my big box of stuff here. Yep, one of the questions that I had. Oh, yes. Okay. You said this person asked me about the opportunities to grow. I think it was she. You can never tell by these usernames, right? But just in case you're listening and you're not a she, I apologize. Um, but she asked me about growth. She asked me, how do I know when the opportunity of growth comes? So I want to talk just a little second. Let's do about 2 minutes. So 14 minutes and 30 seconds in, I'm gonna stop this. But okay, so she asked me about the opportunities of growth. How do I know when they come? So you really don't figure out growth until you're in a situation where you can sit back and say, all right, I handled that the way I would like to handle that, the way I wanted to handle that. Because your mindset changes, your appearance changes, like down through the years. How you would have handled something at 14 years old is not the same way you would handle it at 25. For most people. Some people are stuck in the past, but for most people they grow, right? Um, and so you grow in years, but you grow in confidence, you grow in experiences. And so let's just take a high school fight. When some kids are young, they quick to throw hands. They don't care. They don't care. They don't have no kind of nothing. They out here throwing hands because that's just what they would do. That's how they handle everything that they do. At 25, you're not in high school settings anymore. So you're in a grocery store and somebody makes you mad. Your first thing is not to throw hands. Your first thing is probably to get out of the way because you don't want to hurt this person. If somebody's making you mad, that person is probably in the same growth spurt as you. We're not doing this. I'm going to walk away. Now, you don't recognize that growth until you are in a situation to recognize that growth. So the opportunities for growth comes with literally minute by minute of your life. There is a certain expectation that comes with age. There's a certain expectation that comes with maturity. There's a certain expectation that comes with life changes, life events like having a baby or getting a promotion, because that boosts your confidence in a lot of areas. Getting a raise, landing a job that you for yourself feels that it's a success. based off of where you were, because when you measure growth is where you were and where you are. That's growth. So you don't really recognize it, but from minute to minute you are growing. Now some people grow backwards, but we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. We're gonna go forward. We're gonna grow forward. Um, there was a couple of other little things. Oh, the matters of the heart. So that was something that um, and yeah, the 2 minutes that I said I was gonna spend on growth on that question, we did it. We accomplished that, right? Um, so let's talk about journaling. So this is why we're here, right? This is why I'm here. I am here because journaling has honestly saved my life. How? There was a time that I didn't feel like I had a choice. Choice of what I ate, choice of where I lived, choice of what I did every day, choice of what grades I got at school. There was a time in my life where I felt like I didn't have a choice. Not having a choice does not make a person, you don't grow because you don't experience, you know, you don't grow because someone else is um is controlling your life. So you don't see a future in your future. And so that's where I was. I had to realize that today, tomorrow, and the next day, I am the one that's sitting in the corner feeling sad for myself. How do you break those chains? How do you move on? What is the next step in life? And I'll probably spend about 5 minutes talking about this, so get ready. Well, journaling for me has created a space for closure. I know journaling can be happy, but sometimes you need to put a cap on that happiness too, because you get wrapped up in one moment and then you miss the moments and the opportunities that are coming from that one successful moment. So journaling gives you an opportunity for closure. I was going through, which all of us go through stuff with life, period. But I was going through a little riff with a friend, right? So what happened was I journaled about it, and I did 100% self-reflective, self-reflecting. So what happened in my mind was that thing that I didn't expect. I didn't expect for me to call myself out, because after I wrote that journal and I went back and I read it because I don't know, I was caught up in being the victim. I was caught up in feeling like things could have went a different way, which they could have. And I seen where I could have stopped, took a step back and redirected as an adult should. Everything don't have to be a fly by night situation. You don't have to just operate. You just don't have to. I mean, you should control on some level your emotions. You're exploding. That's where I learned that compartmentalizing stuff, that ain't life. I know people tell you, put that over there. But a lot of us put it over there and we don't deal with it. And so that's just what happened. So I had to take a step back and I had to look at the situation. And so for my journaling technique, it's called the catch and release. So what I do when I'm journaling is I catch those feelings. It happened. my feelings are important. My point of view is important. So I catch those feelings. I catch them. I talk about it. I then address them. What happened? How do I honestly feel? Like, I tell myself the truth on paper. 100% vulnerable. I tell myself exactly what happened or exactly how I feel about what happened. What is my role? I answer these questions literally every time. What is my role? Um, and then the last part is, how do you move forward? You need a plan. And that's what the release is. It's not a phantom thing that's just happening. You have to answer yourself. You have to. And that's what journaling is. You have to answer yourself. You have to catch, address, release. I just call it the catch and release because it's just easier to say and it's just so much more catchier than catch, address, and release. But anyway, so catch those feelings, address those feelings, come up with the plan to release those feelings. I don't care what it is. That is just the beginning. Writing it down is just the beginning, and you don't have to spend a whole long time on it. You can just literally catch, address, release. What is the plan? What is the goal? How do I move forward? Is this something that's going to kill my relationship? Where's the growth in this? What is the message? What am I doing? You need to be able to answer those questions. And you may not sit down and get them all done in 5 seconds. You may not do that. But creating the space by journaling it, writing it down, taking a couple minutes, or texting it to yourself. And that's another thing. You're not married in this day and age. You're not married to a piece of paper and a pencil. You're not. You can be. You can be, if that's something that you have access to on a regular basis. Um, but text it to yourself. I do that all the time. Um, Another thing that I do all the time is I go on my social media and I make a only me post. That means on the privacy, you choose the option that only you can see. That way it even comes up in your memories. So you can see your growth, where you were. When it comes up in your memories, this is what you said 2 years ago. You're going to be sitting there looking like, okay, I got through that situation. I got through it 100%. So social media is bad, but it ain't all bad. You got different things on Facebook, I should say, that you can do that keeps you away from the public eye. So yeah, that's great. That's that. Um, Today was the start of a new and improved podcast that is going to deal with matters of you. And I was telling my people last night. I did a live on Facebook, and I was telling my people that, hey, I am not here to report on celebrity gossip. I'm not here to talk about sports and politics. Not at all. I told everybody that this is going to be a podcast that is going to deal with so many things that we are going through ourselves. Like, I'm not talking about Rihanna's billion-dollar baby. I'm not talking about that. Congratulations to her. Shout out to her. But for us, we go through stuff. I was telling them last night, and I'm gonna end this here in about 5 minutes, because I want to try to keep it around 30-minute shows. Um, 30 minute 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 sho unless I have a guest. So I have a couple of people on my wish list that I want to reach out to. That way we can do interviews here, um, on video and on my podcast, streaming both ways. I want to be able to. I mean, I told my people last night. I said, "Hey, my son was stopped by the police. That was a thing. That was a journal worthy thing that had me cringing. Could have ruined our lives. Not ruined our lives, but I, he he allowed Malachi to call me. When I got out there to the scene, Malachi was in the driver's seat. He was sitting there. He had his seatbelt on. He was like, "Hey, mom, everything's fine." I was like, "I'm so glad about that." Like, and the cop, I got out the car, showed my driver's license. I put it up in the air. I'm like, "Hey, I'm his mom." Because Malachi is only 16, and this is the very first time that he was stopped by the police. And so to have that moment, I was ill. I was going crazy, literally going crazy. Um, so I had that. I had that. My driver's license up. I'm like, "Hey, I'm his mom. Check this out. You know, come talk." It was a whole thing. But the police officer, he was like, "Everything's cool, everything's chill." He was just checking the insurance and making sure it came out positive, because there was no Malachi didn't have, because he was driving his grandma's car, and he didn't have a driver's license. He didn't have a insurance card. So that was the whole thing. He didn't have the app. He didn't none of that. So it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. But those are the types of situations that I want to cover, because we are. Uh oh. Because we are. That was my alarm. Obviously, on Mondays I need to cut that off. That just destroyed my entire. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. My now see, this is the first episode of Come Journal with Jay, and this is what happens. I forgot to cut off my alarm to wake up, because I changed my Monday alarm to 5 o'clock a.m. so that I can get up, get dressed for work, and then sit down and talk to you guys. In that, my alarm going off like that cut off my my streaming on my website for my podcast, the audio part of it. So yeah, that's it. That just happened. But I'm gonna keep rolling. There is no reason for me to stop and start over at all. Um, just know next time I have that together. um, so yeah, those are the things that I want to start talking about. Those are the things. Like, another thing I wrote down, just to kill this last minute that we have on the podcast. Um, I I set up here last night, and I just gave away so many gems on Facebook. But for real, I want to talk about the things that we are going through, experiencing. One of the things I said is like, how do I let go of my 16-year-old son? Like, how does that happen? How does one release the need to be a mom, like like a mom that's for a toddler? How do you release that? How do because like I said last night, there's nobody coming behind him. He is my child. So, and I still got a lot of years to live. I had him when I was 21 years old. Yep. I had Malachi when I was 21, and now we are to a point where it's just like, hey, what's next? 16? I don't know. So those are the little bubbly, giggly things that I want to continue to unpack, because I know I'm not the only one with a 16-year-old. And then the feedback from these episodes, the feedback that I get inside my emails and from my website, we're going to expound on a lot of this stuff, and we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep the conversation moving forward in situations like this. Like one lady I was talking to, she works at Walmart. I work at Walmart too, but she works at Walmart. And she was talking about how she doesn't feel safe because of all the things that's going on at Walmart. Walmart's closing some of their Walmarts on top of closing them. You got the people out here that's feeling like targeting Walmart for theft. Is just what you wake up in the morning and do. Like, that's just a decision. When you're thinking about who to rob, you say in your mind, oh, let's go to Walmart. When people want to get shot, they go to Walmart. Abduction for babies, go to Walmart. Like, crazy, like literally crazy things. We had a police officer going around our Walmart, neighborhood Walmart, showing a picture of a little girl, saying that she escaped, or she ran away, and she was probably looking for some Wi-Fi. And so it was heartbreaking. And then to create a visual, the police officer, full gear, walks in, has this picture, goes to the registers, holding up this picture. Have you seen this baby? She may have come here looking for Wi-Fi, and you should have seen how many people, our customers and our other employees, they like crowded around, and everybody's looking at this picture of this baby that's 9 years old. Literally, this is what life has turned out to be. And so those are the things that I want to start talking about, unpacking how, the why, the when. In this situation, what would you do? Type and of course, journaling and affirmation, starting our week off right, because it's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. Well, next time I'm gonna have some coffee, because I do have a very expensive coffee pot in there. So next time I'm gonna have me a cup of coffee, and we are just gonna be and chatting. Next week I do have a person that will be on the phone, not in person, but on the phone with me. And we will be chopping it up, breaking down some of the things that they're going through as well. We'll be probably talking about friendship. And that's one of the things that I do want to keep an open conversation, an open dialogue about, is because friendships are important. Because a lot of people don't grow up with the family that they share blood with. They grow up with a chosen family. Like, the growth spurts throughout throughout a person's life. They usually confide in their friends. And so those friends relationships are very, very, very important. And a lot of safe spaces for people, where you can't explain what's going on to your friends or or to your family, but you do have that one or two friends that, you spill the beans, you tell the truth. So it was fun hanging out with you guys. We are at 35 minutes now. And I said I wanted to keep it around 30 minutes, but we working on it. We're gonna get there. You guys can honestly say you've been there. You've been here through since day one. Like, if you are hearing this, then you would know and stand confident in this hey, I'm here type situation. But anyway, love y'all. And like I said last night on my podcast, I love you is not a robotic statement. It is so true. People don't really know me, but the one or two that do know that I am quick to say I love you. Very quick to say I love you. And I don't care who you are. So, I love you. Have a good day. And remember your affirmations. You may not take my affirmation, but in case you do, just know that I'm saying it too. Bye.